what we are going to do is we're going to alternate those meetings so that every other meeting is a voting meeting that will be here in the SGA room. Off Tuesdays will be committee meetings. We'll probably go ahead and have next week's committee meeting in this room so we can just go over what committees we have, what is involved with participating with each of those committees. And we're doing that so that you guys can make better choices and better options about where your skills will fit in with our mission, basically. So next week's meeting will be in here, but it will be a committee meeting, and we'll be discussing the different committees that we have available for you to participate in. My name is Lori Cannon. For those who don't know me, I am the student government advisor here on campus. I work with Katrina Porter, who's the student event planner, but unfortunately she is out sick today and she's not going to be able to be with us. Dr. Lavender hasn't made it yet, so our next guest speaker is going to be Mrs. Linda Cope.
What a great group of young men and women. I tell you what, I'm impressed. My daughter went to school here, my daughter Rebecca Cope, and my son Jacob went to the surgical technology program at the school, so it's a very, very excellent school with wonderful education that it offers people in our community. For those that has anybody here heard of Warrior Beach Retreat? Where we do the retreats twice a year in Panama City Beach. And we bring in, each retreat, we usually bring in about 50 warriors and their caregivers total. This one we have about 56 coming. Our next retreat is, John, we get one of those flyers over there, is September 12th through 18th. This is next week. And I'm only going to speak about 10 or 15 minutes, I believe, so just briefly. September 12th through the 18th, but we're having an opening ceremony. At the Marina Civic Center. So I'm asking you guys if you could go by. I'll leave some of these for you if you want to give some out.
We have some.
You've got some
that have already been stamped.
Oh, great. So if y'all can give, grab these and give them out, because what we do is we are leaving the Grand Panama at 4:30 on September 13th with a police and motorcycle escort. And this retreat is being hosted by the Northwest Florida First Responders. So this is bringing in Pensacola, Jackson County, Gulf County. It's the biggest one we've ever had. It's going to be at the Marina Civic Center, September 13th at 7 o'clock p.m. But there's a schedule on our website, warriorbeachretreat.org, that you can follow because they're leaving with a police and motorcycle escort from 4:30 from the Grand Panama. Coming in front of the college, there's going to be 5 helicopters flying over this group this time. It's going to be awesome. So, and Sheriff Frank McKeithen and Ruth Corley have done a great job getting this thing spearheaded for the opening ceremony, bringing in all the Northwest Florida First Responders. So it's going to be the biggest event that we have ever had. And in April, we actually had 4,000 people in this community that lined the streets. And it means the world to these men and women. Most of them never had a hero's welcome. They come home from, the field and go straight to the hospital. So they come and we haven't, I don't want to take your greenery all around the floor, but they come here and they wear their Class A or dress uniform for the opening ceremony. And Panama City Toyota gives them brand new Toyotas. These are not rentals. These are brand new cars, full of gas to drive the whole time they're here. And this retreat is the longest we've ever had. They're coming for about a week because nobody wants to go home. The love this community gives is just unsurpassed anywhere in the nation. And believe me, they come from all across the nation. All across the nation. And they drive in the vehicle with a box of Kleenex with their caregiver in this parade route. And they sob and they weep. Men don't cry, but these men cry. They cry elephant tears when they are coming down and they see this whole community coming out in mass to honor them. And then we just ask you to please fill up the Marina Civic Center. Pack it out. It starts at 7 o'clock. We have 3-star General Boykin. Has anybody heard of him? 3-star General Boykin. He served during President Bush. And he is phenomenal, a phenomenal Christian man, phenomenal speaker. And so it just proves to be a very patriotic event. Does anybody here have any moms or dads that served in the military? What branches? Air Force. Navy, Air Force, Army. appreciate their service. And what we do on these retreats is we focus on the caregiver. Anybody that's had a mom or dad or loved one serve our country, I really think it's harder on the caregiver than it is the warrior, especially when you're wounded. You come back, and a lot of the attention at a lot of the events goes to the warrior. So we really focus on them. The ladies get a dozen red roses and about $400 worth of gifts in their rooms when they arrive. And these are all put in their rooms. And they have a day, like on Thursday, before we have the opening ceremony, they get their hair and makeup done at different salons, and they get their lunch catered in. And the guys go and have the meal at the resort. And then they have professional pictures taken by Tim photography. And the next day, the guys go either deep sea fishing or golfing. And the ladies have a day. Have y'all heard of the spa, Bay Point Marriott Spa? They go there from like 8 to 4 or 4:30. And they get to pick out 2 things to do. They put on the robes, their slippers, and they just have a great time. And most of them never could afford to do anything like that. Most of them have never had that happen. But the beauty of what happens during these things is the wives talk to each other, and they realize they are not alone. And the men talk to each other, and they are not alone. We had about 4 ladies going fishing this time. One lady said, I got to go so my husband doesn't tell a great big fish story. She said, I'm bringing my camera. So it's not a fish that's this big, and he says it's this big. But the reason we started this is my son, Sergeant Joshua Cope, lost both legs above the knee and wounded his hands in Iraq about 5.5 years ago. And I don't know if anybody has heard about this Sergeant Joshua Cope. And it changes your life forever when something that drastic happens. And it just, we are a Christian family. And to me, everybody gets there sometime. Everybody sitting in this room has had something happen to them. Maybe you young ones haven't, but as you get older, you get the phone call in the night or the diagnosis of a disease or something in your family that you just thought, how is this happening to me? This is supposed to happen to everybody else. And that's kind of the way we felt when we got the phone call at 12:30 in the morning. Like, I'm going to wake up from this nightmare. This is not really happening. Because we were told our son had lost both legs above the knee and wounded his hands, and he actually might be a triple amputee. And he was also burned. Because he was thrown out of the Hummer by an IED blast into the road. And they thought he was dead. And his picture is on that flyer with his wife and 3 children. And we were told he might not be able to have any more kids. He's had 2 more since this has happened. So we serve an awesome God. But they thought he was dead, but my son lifted his hand to God because he thought he was going to die. And his comrades went and got him under enemy fire and brought him back. So there's a lot of heroes like those guys you never hear about that don't want to let their sergeant just be left out there and shot to death because they could tell he was alive. And a lot of these stories I've heard because we've had warriors that were wounded that were in the Hummers behind our son. And I say, TMI, too much information. Because they start telling me stories, I go, oh gosh. Because we've heard the stories from Josh, mostly from him telling other people. Because they don't really like to talk about it. If you know any vets that have served that are older, it's a generation that kept everything inside. But what's happening with this war is 20 warriors a day are committing suicide. 20 warriors a day are taking their lives. And this should not happen. But our nation's trying to do all we can to help them. And when they come on these retreats, most of them are retired. And when you're retired, that to me is when the battle begins, because we've been through this with our son. All the attention's over with. You're suddenly a man that you feel like a freak in your community. My son was a hands-on guy. He played basketball with Covenant Christian, and he was never a guy to sit behind a desk. And you have different gifts, different talents, and that's what he wanted to do. Well, then all of a sudden his legs are gone and his hands don't work. So what do you do? And he went through some challenging times during these past years. Our family has. But God's a faithful God. And his wife has stood by his side. They've been married 9 years. Has stood by our son's side through the anger, through the start to drink alcohol, wanting to self-destruct, kind of going through, why am I even here? But she has stood by his side, and our son last year got hyperbaric treatments. Has anybody heard of those? Hyperbaric treatments. They literally heal your body from the inside out. They have found out now that it heals the brain. And when you're blown up, it's like broccoli, and the bottom separates from the top. and the synapses don't connect. So you can't think right, you can't act right, you can't sleep. And the biggest thing is you can't feel. And so our son didn't feel anything. And his wife, it's hard on a wife when your husband just wants to play video games all the time. And he can't tell you that he loves you because he just wants to die inside. And God provided our son to get 80 treatments donated by Doctor's aunt in Destin. And we literally got our son back. We got our son back. He can feel again. And Erica said their marriage is better now than it's ever been. And this is before he got wounded. But I give God all the glory. Because if we trust him, he will open doors for us that no man can shut to answer the prayers that we're praying for the people we love. So if anybody in this room is facing a situation and you go, Lord, I need some help, pray for God to send people to help you, help your loved one. Send people along your path that can help you answer that prayer. Our son has opened his own gun business. It's called Vet Arms. You want to look it up on the website. He's got his own shop, and he's looking great. He actually rode in a bike ride to raise money for Homes for Troops from Orlando to Tampa last summer, and he just looked great. And I think those pictures are on, I don't know if they're on our website, but he's got a Facebook page under Joshua Cope. But it's just been a journey for our family, and with what we've been through, you know, a lot of times people will listen to somebody that's been through hell and back, really. If you're dealing with somebody and you know somebody else has been through what you're going through, you're going to listen to what they have to say. But if they haven't been there, you just think they just don't get it. And I never would have picked this journey for our family, but God did. And we chose it. We chose this hand that was dealt to us to use it to help other families. We've helped over 370 warriors and their caregivers that have come to our community. But it's because of this community it's such a tremendous success. Reader's Digest did a story in the July-August issue. I got a call from a lady today about that, talking about the community. Because this community needs to get the credit for making this a success that it is. Because you guys are the ones that line the streets. You guys are the ones that help us with restaurants and everything else. But just never give up. That's what I'll tell to everybody here. Because again, I believe everybody gets there somehow in life. And we have a choice to let it make us or break us. And we've decided to hold on to Jesus and pray for wisdom to help others that are going through what our son has gone through. We know marriages have been saved and restored. We know people that had considered suicide decided they don't want to do that anymore because they suddenly have a network of other Wounded Warriors caregivers. They email, they Facebook, and they connect. So they're back in their unit again with the Wounded Warriors. And we have all branches that come. All branches that come. But please line the streets September 13th. Be out there. Tell all your friends. Get your flyers that she's going to give out to you. And then be at the Civic Center, because you have no idea what this does for these men and women. It's not just an event. It's a time of healing and wholeness that only you guys can give them. And there's a time after that you're going to be able to shake every one of their hands and personally thank them. And they love it. They love it. But does anybody have any questions about anything that we did?
How do you pick the ones that come?
Well, we are now in the Wounded Warrior Program website with the Army. And we're actually connecting with the Navy, Air Force, because we bring all branches. And by law, we cannot call a warrior. And they call us. We now have a waiting list of about 60. And a lot of it is word of mouth. Because what our community does is so unique to the nation. And we are constantly getting emails, calls about warriors and their caregivers that want to come. And when they come, when they get here, there's no cost to them at all. Everything is taken care of. And so it's just, and then some of these guys are on food stamps. That's terrible. That just should not be that way. But some of them are waiting for their benefits. Some of them, they have to really fight. If you're like my son, you get your benefits. You can look at him and see he's got no legs, his hands don't work. But if you're like somebody that the injuries are internal, or it's PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or traumatic brain injury, you don't see those. And what they say about our retreats is they say, you know, you bring everybody here. You don't just bring the amputees. Because they go to a lot of retreats, a lot of events. It's not retreats, but events that aren't this long or anything. But it's mostly for guys and The majority of them are amputees. But we're not that way, because to me, the worst injuries are the ones you cannot see. Those are the ones inside. But we also send them on cruises. I work with the Christian Cruise Line. We've actually sent about 80 on cruises, and for strengthening their marriages. And we also have mini retreats that we're evolving into, everything to strengthen the marriage. But we also have warriors that come with their caregiver. And then my son Jonathan works as my executive assistant. We go to Walter Reed Bethesda. We go up there about once a year. We're going again next month. Jerry and Norma Tabbitt from Channel 13 have traveled with us to visit. And right now there are, the average age is 20 at that hospital. The average injury is a double amputee, and there are 5 quad amputees up there. Can you imagine being 20 years old and not having arms and legs? But we as a nation need to give back to these men and women. We need to let them know you're not forgotten. And we appreciate your service and sacrifice. And we have a lot of Vietnam vets that line these streets and that want to help. Because believe me, they did not get here as well when they came home. Anybody here that had Vietnam vets in their family? We should be ashamed of ourselves as a nation, the way that we treated them. But, what now? It was terrible. They got tomatoes and cabbage thrown at them, and it was just baby killer. And they were drafted. But these guys all volunteer. These are all volunteers that came. But I'm going to wrap it up. Are there any other questions or comments y'all like to make?
September 13th at 7 p.m. you said at the Marina City
Marina
Center?
City Center, yes. Line the street starting at 4:30, leaving the Grand Panama, going all the way. We'll be coming right in front of the college. So pack it out, spread the word. And I'm honored to have been able to let y'all know what we do. Look at our website, it's on there, warriorbeachretreat.org. And we are not affiliated with any other group, Wounded Warrior Project or any other group. We started this. This is what our community has done.
Did it cost anything? They didn't?
Everything's paid for once they arrive. Everything is taken care of for them when they get here. So it's the community giving back. So, and if those have trouble travel expenses, we cover all that for them too. So,
And it's free for the public to come?
oh yes, we need to put that on our website. It is free for the public to come. Yes, that's not even on our flyers, but let everybody know, nobody's ever paid for, but we do take up a collection if anybody wants to help support it. That was a good point. That was a very good point. Anybody else? Well, I appreciate you all, upcoming young men and women, and I know you have great futures in store for you. Anybody here planning to join the military? After I talk. Good for you. What branch?
Navy.
Oh, good. We actually have Navy that come on these retreats. They're actually on the field now. So we have a Navy amputee that's planning to come, but had to reschedule. But thank you for being willing to serve and sacrifice, volunteer. Anybody else have any other questions or comments?
Thank you for what you do.
I appreciate it.
We wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for you.
Well, thank you. And these are pictures you're seeing up here that are from the fishing trip the guys and girls go on. They always get blood and guts all over their new t-shirts, but they can soak them in bleach when they go home. But anyway, but thank you all very much. I appreciate the honor to be here. Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to go through club reports to see if the club actually has a representative here. When we call your club, if you're here, obviously just introduce yourself, tell us a little something about yourself. It's a very informal meeting. If you have something to report for your club, feel free to go ahead. AASU.
Hello everyone, I'm Natasha, I'm the president of ASU, the African American Student Union. We had our first meeting the 30th of August. Our next meeting will be the 13th of August in the Social Science Building, room 101. At 12:30. Events that we have coming up will be a Back in the Day dance, September 28th. And we'll also start having study groups on the 11th of September in the Social Science Building in room 100 from 12:30 to 1:30.
Is there anyone here for AMSA? Okay, PCM. Brother to brother?
Hello, my name is Hayden, and I'm brother to a representative. We do not have no report because we didn't even have a meeting at all. I have no idea what the president is doing. I don't contact him. That is all.
Earth science? Nursing? French club?
Right here, we have two representatives here. We
Hi.
don't really have anything to report. by organizing.
What's y'all's names?
My name is Carrie Newberry.
I'm good.
And
GC wrestling? GSA? Misa?
Hi, my name is Mercedes. We have really nothing to report from MISA, but we have a meeting on Monday, September 10th at 4 o'clock in the cafeteria. And if you would like to come, you can just come.
NSLS?
Right here, meeting. I'm Gypsy Johnson, Vice President this year at SLS. And so far, our first meeting was canceled due to tropical storm. So it will be Thursday this week instead of last week. And for right now, we do have campus cleanup this Friday, 9 a.m. under the breezeway where everybody's going to meet, and Spike Suit will be filming. So we can get it's open up. Everybody on campus, they can come in, and want to help out. Trying to get a good turnout for that. And we also have later this month, we've got our orientation coming up. We have a Grand Slam Saturday coming up, and we have our leadership training day coming up.
Pitt?
Hello, everybody. My name is Blake, and I'm the president of the PIT. And this is our new representative. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Kenya. I'm your representative.
For this semester, I was gonna fund with my own money all the new members and returning members. I was just gonna get them a free PIT shirt this year with it's gonna have the logo and their names on the back. And we already have a sign-in sheet for that. I was talking to the owner of Project Storm, and he's gonna help us out, and we're gonna rent, not a party bus, but a really big bus, like a Greyhound or something, and he's actually going to help us go to one of his events in Orlando, and it's gonna be absolutely free. We're gonna take care of all that. I think that's about it.
Okay. Psychology? PTA?
Here, I'm Sandra Weatherford, and I'm the Central Inspector of the System.
Thank you. PTK? Respiratory? Sonography?
I'm Shannon Dolger, I'm going to be the new president. This is our academic advisor for the SMART program, and
I'm Shalane Murray, good evening.
Thank you. Thanks for
We
coming.
had one meeting,
Very good.
have another meeting coming up.
Mondays at noon, and health science 308.
Very good. Tech Plus?
I'm Lisa, and Tech Club isn't anything right now.
Okay. Trio? Visionaries Inc.?
We don't really have anything to report. We had 2 meetings to date, and they were just to specify officer positions.
Okay. All right. Thanks for coming out. And Fitness Club? Pep Club?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Jamila Lewis. And, for those of you who don't know, there will be a volleyball game tonight at 6 o'clock in the gym. Students get in free with the, GCSC student ID. Others have to pay, I think, $3 or $5. But, the Pep Club, mission is to come to the game and support the sports members and, be loud and show our support. That's all.
Thank you.
Quick question on that.
Mm-hmm.
Free with student ID, is that with the new number? Jamil? Is that with the new student number on the ID? Or are they taking any ID?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure who checks the IDs for the games.
I think it's just
They probably don't know.
a GCSC.
Okay,
I don't think it has to have any
Yeah.
idea. I'm not sure you're in college.
thank you.
And next, we'll have our organization reports. Spike Suit? Okay. Girls Cry? Rainbow? All right. As Jamila mentioned, there is the volleyball game tonight, and there's also a tournament this weekend. I think having the Pep Club is a really great step forward for us to increase participation in our athletic events here. It is definitely something that is available for free to all students to take advantage of, and the athletes really appreciate it as well. So if you have the opportunity to attend, definitely you should do that. Officer reports? President?
Thanks for everyone being here today, and if you have yet to fill out an application and you're a new member or a returning member, please go ahead and get that done. Get your letters of recommendation so we can get you scheduled for an interview and get you in and see how you fit best with us and can start contributing. That's it.
Vice President of Governmental Affairs?
My name is Chris Jones. I'm one of the vice presidents here as well. I'm actually going to be heading up publicity this year, and we're encouraging all the students to stay up to date with us through social networking. We have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. To follow us on Instagram, it's GCSC_SGA. And to search us on Facebook, you would just search Gulf Coast SGA. And for Twitter, you would follow us at GCSC_SGA.
Aaron?
Vice President of Budget this year. I'm also heading the Budget Committee. Anything you need, anything for clubs, any questions you have, do come and ask.
My name is Stephanie. I'm the Vice President of Student Life. I basically help plan all the events that you see, free food events, things like that. We have Club Fair coming up tomorrow in the cafeteria from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we have Dino, the caricaturist from the first week of school, coming out again to do caricatures from 10 to 2, I believe. And we also have free smoothies from Tropical Smoothie. They're coming at 10:30 and then again at noon. So just stop by, come check it out. And we are giving away some prizes. So it's a really good opportunity to check out all the clubs and talk to their representatives and possibly win something pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sam. I'm also one of the VPs. I just want to start off by thanking some people that helped us out with Welcome Back Week. So I'm going to hand out a few of these little envelopes. First one is for Mercedes.
Woo! Mercedes. You can clap at the end.
And then we've got Tasha.
Hard workers.
And I've got Jamila and Gil. I think that's all the people that were helping out that are actually here. I don't get one.
Round of applause.
And Jasmine.
Okay, Jazz.
There we go.
Sorry, Jasmine.
Tasha is here.
Tasha's here?
Yeah, she's right by
you.
you.
Thank you, Tasha.
We really appreciate you guys willing to come out and help us with Welcome Back Week. It wouldn't have been as successful as it was without your help, so thanks again, guys.
Appreciate it very much.
Really quick, I also wanted to point out, when you came in up there, as well as a meeting agenda, there was a copy of the revised Constitution. We are in the process of rewriting our Constitution and creating a set of bylaws, which we have not had before. This is the Constitution portion. The bylaws should be available for you guys to review, hopefully by Friday. You can come by the SGA room and pick up a copy of those. What I'm wanting from you now is just to read over them, look at them, give us some, be prepared to give us some feedback, and maybe have some discussion about them when we come back for our next voting meeting. Do we have anything for the good of the order?
New people have any questions about what they might need to do to get involved?
All right. Yes.
I know that there is a beach cleanup at St. Andrews State Park coming up soon. I was wondering, do we get involved in community things like that with volunteering, or is it just at Gulf Coast?
And we do sometimes become involved with community projects. It would be a beach cleanup project or a Heart Walk, United Way. There are a lot of community organizations that we sometimes partner up with, from the Rescue Mission, the Salvation Army. So yes, we do also look to partner with other organizations within the community. They're not just Gulf Coast projects.
Mm-hmm. And if you're interested in community service, please come join our community service committee.
Any other questions? No? Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second? All in favor? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Yes. Okay. So good.
No, obviously, it doesn't matter.